Welcome, my friends, to today's topping guide for Crème Brûlée Cookie, the latest and greatest cookie here with the Holiday Express update. Excited about this one, and I hope you are too. So thank you for tuning in. As you'll find the timestamps down below as we break down this cookie, we'll give you the toppings of choice. We'll go for a run so you can check out this particular cookie and pull it all back together as we always do in our episodes. So thank you for joining today. If you got a question, if you got a comment throughout, let me know because I love to hear from you and let me know what you think of this cookie. With that, let's get into it here. So Crème Brûlée Cookie, as I said, is the latest cookie with the Holiday Express update. Couple of key things. This guy is a rear cookie, a range cookie, and that pretty much, when we break it down, makes him a damage dealing cookie.
It'll be nothing like you've heard before.
Exactly. And why is it nothing like we've heard before? Because we do have a Crème Brûlée accelerando. Cookie's passionate, captivating performance, dealing light type damage to enemies and enhances his regular attacks with the accelerando buff. Crème Brûlée Cookie's regular attacks target the enemy with the highest attack and, when enhanced, apply the mysterious melody buff to nearby cookies. The pianist will also create crème brûlée pieces depending on the number of accelerando stacks. Crème brûlée pieces will deal damage to enemies in the order, again, of highest attack, deal additional damage to targets vulnerable to elemental damage, and partially ignore enemies' damage resist at maximum accelerando stacks. Crème Brûlée Cookie will lose 2 accelerando stacks if the skill effect ends with the maximum number of stacks. While Crème Brûlée Cookie is using his skill, he will briefly become resistant to interrupting effects. So here is the damage. Accelerando damage, 356% of attack. Enhanced regular attacks at 350% of attack. Accelerando buff, 17.5% of attack speed. Creates creme brulee pieces per stack. Stacks up to 3 times. Creme brulee pieces times 4 at accelerando times 1, times 4 at accelerando 2, 6 at accelerando 3. Creme brulee piece damage 50% of attack plus 15% of additional damage to targets vulnerable to elemental damage. Ignores 30% of targets damage resist at max accelerando stacks. So we'll come back to this in a second. Mysterious Melody, 20% attack speed, 35% attack speed debuff, resist for the buff duration. Mysterious Melody, additional damage, 115% of Crème Brûlée's attack speed boost rate from scaling with his attack. So very important here. We hear attack a lot. We also see the stacks. So the stacks only get removed after the number of accelerandos, like we had talked about up here. It loses 2 stacks if the skill effect ends with the maximum number of stacks. So very important. Now, it does not fall off when and due to time. So that is a key reason. We'll talk about this in a second on why we pick some of the toppings that we do. And then additionally, on top of that, it does talk about elemental damage, so vulnerable to elemental damage. This are going to be things like the alliances. This could be bosses. Right now, we don't have that necessarily on cookies, but keep that in mind maybe for the future. So with that, very, very important attack. Yes. All right. So what does that mean for topping? So let's get into it here. So certainly, as always, we recommend resonant, no resonant for this guy, at least at the moment. So with that, what do we want to be on? We want to be on attack. That's right. So in terms of how we want to do this, let's go ahead and we'll grab a bunch of these attack ones here. I'm going to look at these real quick on which ones we would like. Let's grab that one. We'll talk about these in a second, but before we do, because we jumped the gun, we got to remember to level our friend up. Let's go ahead and max level this. Yes, because we got plenty of experience, my friends. There we go. All right. So now that we go back to our toppings and now that we're fully equipped, let's go ahead and grab some more here. We'll grab this one. We'll talk about this here in a second. Let's grab this one. And maybe you're catching on what we're doing here, but you certainly can feel free to also comment on why or why not you think I picked a couple of these ones. We'll go with this one. All right. Perfect. So sounds good. Now we got a fully loaded creme brulee cookie. Certainly can scale the skill still. So if we do this, you can see if we go max level, look at that. Accelerando damage is going to increase. Creme brulee piece damage will go up about 50%. Accelerando damage will also go up an incredible amount as well. So let's go ahead, might as well. We got plenty there for you. Actually, we'll go to 60 at least, because we like to do that. There we go. Boom, we'll go to 60. All right. Making him certainly, ooh, where'd you go? Much harder in terms of hitting. Where did we go, my accelerando friend? Here you go. All right. So now our power went from that 75 to 280. Let's go back to our toppings here. So you saw that move up as well. Now let's go ahead and continue our conversation on our toppings. So we're going with 5 Syrian raspberry to focus on attack, 3% to 5 because we have all 5. Now in terms of second bonus effects, the things you should be thinking about. Absolutely, first and foremost, attack, because everything scales on attack for this cookie. The second most important one certainly is going to be cooldown. Again, your ability to do stacks. Cooldown is going to increase that, so keep that in mind. An alternative option could be, again, these guys right here, Swift Chocolate, in terms of the amount of getting those accelerando stacks on. However, we want to focus more so on damage with this cookie. On top of that, because this guy targets other attackers, we want to make sure we can take those attackers out. So what is a big key attacker right now? A lot of epics, a lot of legendary ancients and our friend, good old friend, Golden Cheese. So something to keep in mind. Those are all very important things in terms of this. So when we go back to talking about some of those bonus effects, those two are certainly key. Now, additionally, you are going to want probably what's most likely a squishy cookie here to be not as squishy. So damage resist is always very, very good, followed by HP and defense as additional ones. So those, I would say, attack, damage resist, and cooldown are great. I like secondary there as HP, defense, and attack speed, and then all the other things in there that could be nice. Amplify buff isn't a bad one because of some of those things that we've seen in that moveset. So in terms of ours, that's what I was focusing on, was attack and cooldown in terms of what we had here, and then additionally damage resist where we could find it with what we had already made with our raspberry toppings here today. Now, certainly not totally tweaked, but those are things that you can keep in mind. Any tweaks, obviously, you're going to make this a little bit different, but certainly getting that focus on attack is going to be huge. We're almost at 50%, which is very nice. So let's go ahead and rewind here. We've talked about creme brulee cookie. We've given you that breakdown. We've talked about the toppings. It is time for us to go have some fun with this cookie.
I'd like to turn this moment into a song.
And take him out for a run and see how this is going to go in our favorite 829. There's our good old friend Snow Sugar Cookie. You can check out our topping guide for that. However, today we are on creme brulee. Let's find it. There we go.
The first note that decides everything.
It is the first note. Let's do it. All right, we'll keep auto off. We do have the 2.5. You can keep those things in mind. Boom, look at that. Huge damage. Let's get our stacks. Boom. Do you see that? 800,000 damage. Is almost more than that. Tons and tons and tons of damage. We got to get our stacks on. There's another one, accelerando. See if we can do one more here against the final boss. Woo! Look at that, my friends. Incredible. So much
That was impeccable.
It was impeccable and so much damage. All right, let's pull it all back together for today's episode. That, my friends, was awesome. All right, let's go ahead here. There we
I've
go.
been told I'm talented ever since I was a child.
They seem very talented in today's episode, Crème Brûlée. All right, so thank you for tuning in. As always, again, if you got a question, if you got a comment, let us know. Let us know what you think of this cookie. Does yours hit as hard as we did, or probably harder? With that, I appreciate you tuning in. Feel free to swing by our Discord server. And lastly, as always, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs as we grow this incredible community here. On top of that, I just want to say I appreciate all the members. We have those available to you, memberships available to you down below, and other great ways to support the channel with affiliate links and other things like that. So thank you, and ways to stay in the know. With that, may Crème Brûlée deal all kinds of damage. May your attack scaling attack and take out those other attackers. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's topping guide. We have plenty of CookieRun Kingdom content here for you on the channel, and more coming all the time. Stay tuned to see what happens, because we got more things like Holiday Express and all kinds of other great stuff coming your way. Till then, we'll see ya. Take care. Mythras out of here, and good luck with the accelerando. Take care.